Hey guys, what's up? Hello to all my Rainbow Through the Rain family. Oh, let me tell you, it has been a hard 4 or 5 days, and this is one of the reasons why I felt I really needed to get on here. I this this journey that I'm on, I have been faced with so many things thrown in front of me, and so many sick days and bed days, and I often feel sometimes when there's something that you're supposed to be doing, that's when the devil is going to try to take everything he can and throw it in front of you to quit. But I'm not doing it. I'm not going to quit. I thought I could do a video. I was trying to do a video like every other day. And then I was telling myself, well, you could do a video every day. But last video I think I made was 4 or 5 days ago. I was supposed to tell who the winner was of the breast cancer awareness, the BCA giveaway we had. And I was supposed to do that on Sunday or Monday, and I never even got to that. But I will say at the end of the video, I will say who it was. So this is kind of what I want to know. When y'all get in that stuck position and you know you need to do something, but you have absolutely no energy to proceed, what do you do? You know, let me go back a little bit here, and I'll give you kind of a backstory of why this is so important to me. So about 7 or 8 years ago, my daughters and I decided to do a YouTube channel, and it was called Mason Jar Mamas. And we were really doing pretty well, and I wish we wouldn't have quit, because things I think would have been really different than how it is right now. But unfortunately, one thing that I have done in life, and I've done it over and over and over and over again, is quit. I get so far and then I quit. But like I said, our channel was really going well, and we started getting subscribers, and we were starting to get comments and things like that. But then things started not going right within the family. I mean, we have a very loving family, but it was a thing that I would say, did you get the video ready for tomorrow? And that person would say, well, why do I have to get the video ready for tomorrow when the other person should have had the video ready for tomorrow? And then it was like, they would ask me, did you get the recipe done that you were going to get done? And I would say, oh, I forgot all about it, da-da-da. Anyway, it failed. It failed miserably. So 4 years ago, so after that, I was busy with eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, things like that. I was a retail seller, which that's pretty much been my whole life, has been in retail. And I just found the way to do it from home, so I didn't have to physically go out. And actually, I was making more doing that than I would have been had I been on a 9-to-5 job. But after in 19 wow, I'm going way back. In 2020, I lost my husband, and we were together from the time I was 14 years old. So when he passed, I was I was almost at a loss of how do I go on without him. And I went into a depression, and it just so happened this one day I was watching this commercial on TV, and I remember every time that commercial would come on, he would start singing and he would do this dance, and it just reminded me of something that he had done. And I started remembering some of the good things instead of looking at all of the bad things. And I started writing down, some of the good things that I remembered, that, what was his favorite Christmas gift? What was his favorite hobby? What were some of the things that we did? What was our best vacation? So on and so forth. And I wound up writing a couple books, and it was Finding a Rainbow Through the Rain for the Loss of a Husband. And it was just filled with questions of all happy things, things that would make you happy. And I left some spaces to spray his favorite cologne and things like that. And that book can be found on Amazon. And shortly after that, I had done Finding a Rainbow Through the Rain for the Loss of a Wife. And I've done Finding a Rainbow Through the Rain for the loss of a pet. Actually, it's the loss of a dog. And I am currently working on Finding a Rainbow Through the Rain for the loss of a cat. So I didn't forget about cats. And I also want to work on one with, for kids, for the loss of pets. But that's not what I was making this video for. For a book promo. I wasn't doing it for that. But the one thing that I remember was, it just so happened that he passed on the 8th. 6 days after he passed, I turned 60. And I was just at a loss of what I was going to do as far as work. And I was speaking with my sister-in-law, and she said, when you turn 60, you can get his survivor benefits from Social Security. And I said, oh, well, I said in 8 days, or however many days I said it was, I will be 60. So I was able to get his benefits, which, glory be to God, because in 2021, I contracted COVID. In 2022, I was diagnosed with long COVID, with Hashimoto's. And in the end of 2022 was when I broke my back and I crushed some vertebrae. So the idea of me working was it wasn't even coming into play. But the thing is, having to figure out, what am I going to do for extra money? Like I said, glory be to God that I got the Social Security, but the having any extra money would be great, because what I have now pays my bills that I need, but it doesn't cover any extras. So if I'm looking to go out to dinner, or if I'm looking into going out and buying a washer if I need it, or anything like that, no money's there. So I prayed to God, and I said, God, I don't know what to do. I can't work. The pain is just too tremendous, and I just really don't know what to do. And I remember him telling me about your alms and, having to do with paying your alms. And I said, that is one thing that I thought about doing when I was writing my books. I said, any money that was made from writing my books, I wanted to give a percentage of that to the alms project. Now, the reason why it just so happened that correlated was because my husband's initials are ALM. And I said, what a greater way to respect him and keep his name going than to do the alms project. So this is kind of why I'm here. If you feel inclined to buy a book, you can. I will introduce them at a later time, but the whole thing is I know that monetization is possible, after so many subscribers, and if that were to happen, the only one that I could, I have to say praise God, because I think at this time that is really all that's, all that I can do. And the reason why, I love talking to people. My daughters used to always call me the social butterfly, because we would never know when I was in church exactly where I was going to be. And they'd say, oh, she's fluttering around somewhere else, talking to somebody else. And I've always had people come to me when they've had any kind of a problem or they needed prayer. I was one of the people that they could come to and know that I was going to usually stop what I was doing and pray for them. But I also made sure that I kept them in prayer and to check up on them afterwards to see them through, how did everything go? I went to doctor's appointments with people. There was a neighbor of mine, I basically sat by their bedside and held their hand. I didn't know if it was going to be their last day. And shortly after I was saved, I know some people say, well, what does being saved mean? But after I was saved in 2006, I believe it was, I was actually a cashier at Walmart. And it was just so funny how it just seemed like the Christian people who needed to talk, or the people that suddenly needed prayer, always came through my line. And that's why I used to joke and say Walmart is not the only saving place, And it was just amazing how these people would come upon, who would come in my line, and, they'd say, they'd be, like rubbing their head like this or something. And I would say, do you have a headache? And they'd say, yeah. And I'd say, do you mind if I pray for you? And they would just look at me and be like, okay, but it was funny how it always happened that when these people would come through my line, that it was almost like everything stopped. Like God just had this so orchestrated that nobody would come through my line while I was doing this. So it's just amazing how God works. And like I said, it's a thing that I like to talk. I like to, and I really, really hope, this is like my fourth or fifth or sixth video. I'm not exactly sure what one it is. But I really hope that people start leaving comments, because I love to read your comments. I love to hear, other people. I love to hear testimonies. I love to hear where you are with God. And so if you would do that, just leave a comment. Tell me what you think of, of maybe what I have to say, or, you know. But getting back to the original thing that I started talking about, I always go off on these rabbit trails. So when you're having a hard day and you don't feel like doing anything, but you know you've got to get that video up, you know you've got to keep that algorithm going, how do you do it? Like, do you just show up? I don't know. I don't know. But I've been reading a lot about the Hope Crew and this new movement that's on YouTube with the Hope Crew. Well, Hope Crew, if you are hearing me right now, if you would please keep me in prayer to stop these roadblocks from coming in front of me all the time, to keep me in check to put out another video. So, well, I think that's about all that I probably have to say for right now. I don't want to run this too long because I know, just like me, I'm going through and I listen to 2 minutes and then I go to another video, and oh, it's terrible when you're constantly, your brain is just constantly going and going and going. But anyway, like I said at the end of this video, which I'm going to end it here in a minute, we done a breast cancer awareness video, and it had a cool little bag with it, and it had this water bottle and socks and a towel and other things like that. So the other day I did write the names down, and I had my grandson pick the name, and the person that this is going to is being Mary Leandra. So Mary, if you are being Mary Leandra, if I will be in touch with you and we'll get your address so I can get this sent out to you. So thank you for entering. Thank you for subscribing. So before I sign off, you know that there's 3 things that I always ask. Number 1, if you like this content and if you want to see more of me, subscribe. Hit that bell, and then every time I record a new video, it'll come up and it'll let you know that there's a new video up. Number 2, find a reason to smile today. It could be anything. Could be a flower. Could be something silly you see on TV. Smile. Something has to make you smile. And number 3, find your rainbow through the rain. Bye, guys.